Good morning, it's Devorah. It's InStory Live, and hang on while people jump in. I'm going to share over to the InStory world. All right, wonderful. Okay, so what gives you joy? It's not a new theme, but it's an important one. How do you know what to do? And what if one of the barometers of a decision is, does it bring me joy? So, sometimes I listen to Esther Hicks, Transmitting Abraham, and they talk a lot about like raising your vibration. Hi, Kay, good morning. What does it mean to raise your vibration? So, I think a good one standard for that, I'll talk about a couple. One standard for that is joy. Does it light me up? And also, how do you feel? What will help you feel better? So another thing is looking at something beautiful or making something beautiful. Okay, I think of you making beautiful collage work. What allows you to shift your energy into feeling good, to feeling joy, to feeling uplifted? And it's not the process of just shutting it down. It's not faking it, because I lived a big part of my life knowing well how to do that. I'm fine, right? Even when I wasn't. So what allows you to actually shift? And the process of being able to shift is a very, very wondrous tool to have, and there are actually many tools to allow you to shift. And it's the first stage that I really focus on and constantly focus on over the InStory year, and the framework of InStory that goes through shift, shape, and share. The stage of shifting is one that, in order to start something new, it's almost a complete requirement to shift out of the old. I don't know about you, but I can bump into a lot of old stories when I'm trying to do something new. Hey, Susan. So there's, at least for me, an old story will come up. Oh, this new thing, I can't do this because I'm not good at this, or I don't know how to do it, or I'm not consistent, or whatever. I'll have some story for myself about why I can't do some new thing. So I'm gonna live, that's gonna be true if I live there. So how do I shift out of my old story and start to raise my resonance for a new story? So there's not one answer to that question. There's lots of answers to that question. The important part is that you have answers. You have a toolbox of how to shift. If you've never listened to my Get Out of the Goo webinar, go to my website, devorahspilman.com, and listen to my teaching there on how to get out of the goo. It's a very powerful how to shift out of the goo, your old story, and never stay stuck again, right? So that's what I want you to think about today, is how do you shift into a state of feeling better? What do? How do you do it? And we all have different ways to do that, but just notice what works for you and then do it. And then do it again and again and again, right? Because here's what happens. If you are a person who's growing and you're visionary, you are going to have a stretch happen to you. You're going to have a vision, and you're going to have invitations and inspirations to do something new. And you're going to bump into resistance. That's the teaching you how to get out of the goo. It's the caterpillar metaphor. The caterpillar, it wants to be a butterfly. First it has to go through the chrysalis, and it turns to goo. Nobody likes that. Where you read Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art, and you're going to hit resistance no matter what. It is just part of all visionary creative endeavor. So if you have something you want to do and you hit, and I can't do it, I don't know how, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, all of that, then you have to shift out of your old story. Because in your old story, you're smaller, more contracted. So how do you shift into a more expanded vision of yourself? There's not one way. So a couple of them are, we listen to each other and we lift each other up. I go out into the forest, I get in the trees, I start to, get into that higher guidance conversation in myself, and it shifts my energy up. So what can you do to shift your energy up so that if you have a vision calling you and you bump into resistance, you have a tool to get through it, right? What do? And this happens all the time when women want to come and do InStory for the year. It's like, yikes, like that much money, that much time, being on a show, coming out of hiding. Like, it's not like a piece of cake, because if it was, you wouldn't need it. So what's calling you forward and what's keeping you stuck? So just notice that and do some work to take a step forward, shift your energy, and take an action step toward what's calling you forward. And let me know what you're up to. You can post here some of your favorite tools to shift out of your old story, that old thinking, and into a more joyous, uplifted, positive thinking. And what helps you take visionary steps in your life, courageous visionary steps? What's calling you forward? So put that into your consciousness today and make this a day where you're paying attention to how to shift up into joy, how to say yes to a leap, to something new, to something you didn't let yourself do before, something that nourishes your soul. All right? You know me, I'm always here to cheer you on and a little bit of nudging to get out of being stuck. So take a deep breath, look up, see yourself bigger, all right? And do something to shift out of the old and step towards the new. And let me know what happens. All right, have an amazing day, everybody. Post me in the comments, reach out, and always remember to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.